Welcome back, guys, to the Real Life Curriculum Podcast. Today we're with Hitesh. It's not okay to be okay, and yeah, new location today, Leicester Podcast Studio. Happy, ready to go, and thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
So yeah, can you tell us a bit about you and how the brand come about?
Okay, so August 2020, while we were still sort of in lockdown at the time, it was just an idea. I thought I was on my school holidays during the summer period, and I just thought, oh, let's make a hoodie and just see what happens. So I had "It's okay not to be okay" on the front, and then "A problem shared is a problem half" on the back. And I thought, right, I've got a spare orange hoodie hanging around, I've got a spare black hoodie hanging around. Let's get them printed and walk around town and just put a positive message out there if people see the message. And that was it. And so I'm walking around town and people stopping me saying, "Oh, where'd you get your hoodie from?" And I like the message, and I was like, "All right, cool," Then I thought, okay. I didn't know what to say to people. It was at the time where I was like, okay, thanks, And then one guy at the Apple store, he said, "Oh, can I take a picture of your hoodie?" I was like, "Oh, this is a bit..." I didn't expect that to come about. And again, I was like, "All right, thanks." And I just carried on walking off. And then I used to work in Pilot 20 years ago after university, and I went there, and they even said, the management team, who I'm still quite close to, and they were like, "Why don't you get these made?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know what to do." And so I just, again, it was just carried on my day and went home, and then I went to the gym because the gyms had just opened, and warehouse gym, Linton and Dilesh, they were like, "Why don't you get these made?" And I said, "I don't know what to do." And I said, again, somebody else says, the guys at Pilot said, "Why don't you get these made?" And they said, "We'll introduce you to a printer." I said, "Okay, let's see what happens." So I had 30 black hoodies made, 20 orange hoodies made, and I thought, okay, let's see what happens. And everything went within 3 weeks. So a little bit was in Pilot, a little bit was in warehouse gym, and a bit I was selling from home. And now feedback and interest has really, really grown. And people are like, "Can you get this colour?" I was like, "I don't know what to do. What's going on?" So again, Linton and Dilesh were very, very helpful. They said, "Okay, do this, do that." And it's grown ever since. And that was August 2020, and now we're approaching the end of March 2023, and it's just grown ever since. I've been working with Mind. I've been working with Women's Aid as well. They're the charities that I'm fundraising for. But yeah, everything's just growing all the time. I've got an office in the city centre as well now, and it's been a lot of fun, lots of learning, ups and downs, and yeah, but it's been good. And hoping to grow this and get people talking. That's the main thing. We want to get people talking, and I'll never forget what Linton said. And Linton and Dilesh, they even said, your hoodies could be walking notice boards with the message on the back, and that'll always stick with me. To say, if somebody sees the message on the back and reaches out for help or checks up on somebody, that could make a huge difference. So yeah, really.
So what's like the meaning behind the message? 'Cause for people who don't really know about you.
So the year before, I knew somebody that passed away through suicide, and it was whoa, how did this is somebody that I saw all the time, and how it happened was just awful. And it was sort of, that was the main sort of trigger to say that'd be a good idea, to try and get people. So somebody that I knew passed away December 2019, and that was the idea. So I thought, and we were in lockdown, and there were so many things you were hearing on the news about young people passing away through suicide, and what the damage lockdown was doing to them, and all that kind of stuff, and being so closed, and it was just it was just like that was it really. That was the main thing. But I can also say that 2013, 2014, I struggled myself really, really. I had to get a lot of help, to the point where I didn't see much light at the end of the tunnel, and I did contemplate suicide as well. So it was that was a really, really tough time as well. And I said, right, I don't think I've got no value here, because you you believe the things that you hear, that, you know, you're not mixing with your friends as much, and you question yourself, who needs me? You know, what need do I need to be here? Who's going to miss me? My nephew doesn't need me anymore. He's 16 years old. My family are getting on with them. Are they going to miss me? No. So, you know, it was that point, and there was a number of things that got me there, got me to that point. But and then one day I got invited to my friend's house, and his wife, they invited me over for dinner, and I said, I don't want to be here anymore. And that was the point where I got help from I was lucky enough to get help from the GP. I spoke to more friends, had a counsellor, because the police got in touch and stuff as well. So I was lucky enough. I was one of the lucky ones that did get a lot of help and support. But it's hard asking for help. That's the thing, when you have to admit, I need help. I need to speak to somebody. But you're so embarrassed to open up to your friends that, what are they going to say? Are they going to disown you? Are they going to think you're a weirdo? What's wrong with you? That kind of thing. But when I did open up, it was the best thing ever. It was the best thing ever. And that was the first night I did sleep in almost 2 years. Because I was, you know, almost to, you know, I was like self-harming and stuff like that. Because I just felt I'm just useless. Why I don't want to wake up in the morning sometimes. You know, that was 2013, 2014. And then I joined the gym January 2015, and that was the best thing ever. That was the best thing, because I was very underweight. I was only about 8 stone. So I should have been about 9.5 stone, 10 stone for my height. And then got in the gym, eat, training, and then I fell in love with it. And it was the best thing ever, joining the gym. And yeah, it was just, the gym was major, because then I was eating better, I was training, I was feeling better, you know, I was sleeping better, and that made a massive difference going forward, 100%. There's always going to be good days, there's always going to be bad days, but I know that the gym will definitely help. And I've never ate properly, and now I'm eating, you know, good food, healthy food, and that was also making me feel better as well. So it made a huge difference. Sleeping, waking up, you know, not all tired and lethargic and like, oh God, you know, I don't want to go to work. I did want to go to work because I was feeling so much better. And I was also filling into my clothes. Nothing was hanging anymore.
No baggy clothes.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
That's good, man.
Yeah, the gym. And then I just started just telling people, look, you know, I was, you know, because it was just starting to get, I was just telling more and more of my friends, you know, the group chat was starting to open up more as well. Even some of my friends that work and live in London, they were talking about the struggles that people think, yeah, money is great in London, but it's just non-stop sometimes for them. Constant work, on the tube, come home, eat, sleep, and then, you know, they're up at 5 and they're up at 6 in the morning and back to work again. And yeah, so when I opened up to my friends, a few of them even opened up and said, you know, what can we maybe do? And, you know, and I did suggest like a contact number who I was using, because one of the charities are really supportive to me as well. So I used to get checked on a Monday and a Thursday. So how was your weekend, that kind of thing on a Monday. And then on the Thursday it was like, oh, how's your week been? And have you got any plans for the weekend? So yeah, it was good. The charity was really helpful, really good. Because they didn't know me. There was just, I could just tell them everything.
Yeah.
It was really helpful. But this is the thing. It's the hardest thing will be to say, look, to lift that phone up and say, can I speak to somebody? I think I need help.
That initial, I need help.
That will be the most difficult thing you'll do, but probably the best thing you'll ever do.
Yeah. So like, you know, speaking though, and actually speaking about like what you're going through, why do you think that's so important and not like holding it in?
I held it for 2 years, and it wasn't healthy. It wasn't good for me. I could feel, you know, even within myself, my diet was terrible. I was just eating rubbish all the time. Like I wasn't training or anything. I was just working all the time. So nothing was changing. Nothing was changing. And then obviously when I did get help, that made a massive difference.
So previously we discussed like that you were going in Asda and doing like pop-up stores and stuff like that. So do you have like a long-term vision for the brand itself?
Thankfully, Thermist and Asda, they've been really, really helpful, really supportive, and they've said, we'd like you to come in every month with your pop-up stores. Lots of people have been asking about you. But it's where, you know, that foot flow of around 6,000 to 8,000 people, I'm not going to get that anywhere else. So, you know, that's really, really good and really, really helpful. But every month, I would say there's been an increase of people coming over to the pop-up store and, you know, just having a chat and saying, you know, I've struggled, and even just quite openly saying, you know, this is what I've done, things like that, and this is a great message, you know. I have got lots and lots of colours on the pop-up store, so it does draw a lot of people over. They see the 7-foot roller banners on each side as well. And, you know, people come over, what's this? And, you know, they can see my message of it's okay not to be okay, and a problem shared is a problem half. And, you know, if I can make a few people just have a little chat, you know, then great. You know, hopefully they can maybe go home and message somebody or have a chat with somebody or reach for help, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, the pop-up stores have been really, really helpful, especially at Asda, but I'm getting invited to a lot of boxing events. They're very, very strong as well. Boxing and mental health are very strongly linked as well. So, yeah, in the next few months, I've already been invited to a few boxing events that are Athena and a few Mayor Centre and places like that as well. So, I didn't think this would really work, but yeah, it's a great opportunity to sell the hoodie, raise money for charity, and also have people have a little chat as well. So a lot of men, sadly, coming over for a chat, but I think men do struggle the most.
Why do you think men struggle so much?
I think it's that whole thing, you know, where you just get on with it kind of thing. It will go away, you know. Tomorrow it'll be fine, you know. I'm all right. But you know, if you don't, but again, it's like, you know, because I've been there, and for 2 years I struggled, and I thought, yeah, it'll be all right, it'll be all right, it'll be all right. But you know, I would say if you do feel low, you know, just reach out. Just reach out to one of your friends, somebody that you trust, have a chat. But men, I know it's sad to say, but I think it's just something that's just embedded through culturally, just a generation thing, or you just got to get on with it kind of thing. You just got to do it. Come on, you'll be all right, you know. But I do think talking makes a massive, massive difference. Talking about it, you know, somebody might be able to just give you a bit of advice, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, again, it's that man thing, you know, where you just got to get on with it kind of thing, and just don't show any sign of weakness. Now I know, right, it's okay. If I need to take a break and just need to clear my head, do it. If you just need to go for a walk on your own, just listen to music, watch a film, something that makes you happy, something that you think that brings up a happy memory, then do it. But yeah, sad to say, you know, the you know, it's just increasing where more and more men are taking their, and it's getting younger and younger as well. That's the worrying thing as well. And you know, this is the thing. Like, I've got these red hoodies. Hopefully, they draw. Somebody sees the message at the back. You know, sometimes on a Saturday when I'm not doing a stall, I'll walk around the High Cross with a yellow hoodie on, or an orange hoodie on, or a red hoodie, just so people, you know, see the message. People have come over and say, "Oh, I like that message," that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Asda and Sainsbury's with the trolley, really, really slowly, just make sure as many people see the message as well. So, and then I'll always have some in my pocket with these key rings or wristbands I'll just give to people. You know, just say, you know, it's just a bit of a reminder, you know, on your car keys or on your garage door, whatever. You know that, you know, if you are struggling, you know, it's okay to talk. You know.
Yeah, I think it's good though, man, and I have to thank you as well, because your brand, I think, is one of the things that helped me realise myself, like, yeah, it's okay not to be okay. And also as well, not even that, and just to be a kinder person, because you never know what people are going through.
100%.
So like,
True.
even from just saying to someone like, oh, how's your day been? Like, you don't even know what that can do.
Oh,
It seems like something so little,
yeah.
but you might just do that and
That at the start of the morning or something, that could just, you know,
change.
they may
someone's whole
have been
day.
not in a great mood or anything, but yeah, that was just nice. You know, just a smile, just to say, all right, mate, how's you doing? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just walking down the city centre now, or in the High Cross, or wherever, and I'm just saying, you're right, you okay? And then I'll just say, yeah, keep going, that kind of thing. Sometimes I can pick up a sign sometimes now a little bit, and I just say to people, you're right there? You know, I'll stop people and just have a bit of a chat with them as well. But yeah, it's just, and again, with the bright colours, I think I wasn't too sure on the bright colours, but now I'm very, very supportive of the bright colours, because I do want people to see the message.
Yeah.
And it just really, really helps as well. And more and more women are starting to notice as well that, look, this is an issue, and now they are hoping to sort of check up on the men in their lives and the boy, you know, the sons and the grandsons and things like that as well. So that's an important message to also get out as well.
Yeah. Have you had many women come up to you?
Yeah, that seems to be growing as well now.
Yeah.
Where, again, at the sporting events that I still do the pop-up stores, and as does a big one where, because I'm there from 9 a.m. till 5, 6 in the evening, more and more people are starting to come over now, and I have got support from a lady that does some work with Women's Aid as well.
Yeah.
So women can feel a bit comfortable, you know, speaking to her, speaking to me about any issues they've got. You know, everything stays confidential. Nothing is, you know, brought up. You know, anything, you know, they feel uncomfortable about. But you know, it's been good, because sometimes they've even just come over, shook our hands, given us a hug as well. So I think that's important as well. But yeah, the stores are really, really good, and I'm hoping I've done a few corporate talks as well to some businesses about my struggles, how I got help, all that kind of stuff. And you know, you can get help there. It'll be difficult. So I did a talk at East Midlands Airport from about 50, 60 men who are all in the construction trade, and you know, they started asking me questions. They even told me about their struggles as well. So it was an opportunity for people to talk as well. So that was really, really good. And it was, so I'd like to do more corporate talks. That would be really, really good as well, to say, you know, there is help out there. You know, I'm proof that, you know, it's hard, it's not easy.
But you can get through it.
But you can get through it.
Yeah, 100%. Just like, yeah, the brand and what you're doing is amazing, honestly. But like, on a personal note, when you're going into, like, for example, East Midlands Airport and there's 50, 60 people there, are you nervous ever? Or
It
how
can
do you
be,
feel?
but now I'm quite, you know, I'm talking to anybody now.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine. You know, now I just, I can just do it now. You know, I can say, hi everybody, you know, my name is Hitesh. You know, I am somebody that has, you know, struggled with depression and things like that, and I'd like to talk about my struggles and how you can get help. And yeah, it can be nervous, but once the questions and stuff come in, it just, time really, really flies back. And I'm honest and I'm quite blunt, and tell them, you have to be honest and say, look, you know, I struggled, you know, with self-harm. I was doing, you know, so I was almost to the point where giving up and self-harm, and what I was thinking about, all those, you know, researching stuff like that as well, you know. But, you know, and you have to be honest to say there is no quick fix. You know, it's not nice to say that, but there is no quick fix. It does take time.
It's a process.
Yeah. You know, you've got to start doing all the things that make you happy, and you know, and this is the thing, it's not selfish, where if you just want to just do some stuff with family or just on your own or anything like that as well, because that's the important time where gives you an opportunity to clear your head and right, okay, this is the time where I need to sort of maybe try this or pick up a new hobby or something like that. So, you know, I never ever went to a gym. I went to the gym when I was like 35, 36 years old. So I was one of the very, very late for me to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Best thing ever. That was the best thing ever. But you can pick up drawing or things like that, you know, reading books or, you know, podcasts and things like that. I've heard so many people that do different things, and I try different things as well. So we're always learning all the time. We are learning something new all the time. And I would always say to people, don't be afraid to learn new things either. Don't ever be afraid, because we're here. Try to gain as much knowledge as possible, and even if you can pass it on to somebody else, great. But don't ever be afraid to learn new things. Yeah.
Is there anything that you've not tried yet? Just anything that you've been thinking about that you want to just do or try?
Oh, there's a few things. There are a few things. Like I was, because I'm getting invited to a lot of the boxing events. Thought maybe give that a go.
Boxing,
Give
yeah.
the boxing a go. Maybe, but we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Maybe this time next year or something like that. But firstly, I need to get back in the gym. That's another thing. That's one thing I do need to get back, because I've not been in the gym for nearly 2 years now. But I've just been so busy with this and working with Women's Aid as well. That's really, really picked up as well. So that's really growing as well. And it's just meetings, and I've got an office, and I'm moving soon to bring a bigger premises. And yeah, with this, who knows if I could turn this, because currently I'm working in a secondary school, so if I could turn this into like a job and grow this and work with other people and things like that as well. That's another thing. I'd like to work with other organizations and people that want to maybe work on mental health, and if we can collectively work together as well under one umbrella, that's a stronger voice than just mine on my own.
Everyone's got their own different networks as well, so reach
100%,
out more.
yeah, 100%.
But I want to go back a bit, because me and Kyle, so we're always trying to challenge ourselves and do new things, and we have little things what we'll do. Like right now, we're doing like March challenges, and you're telling us that you thought about going back to the gym. So I think that when we next go gym or something like that, you should come with us.
Yeah.
We'll do a gym session together. Because I think like sometimes I know it's hard, like when you come off a routine or something, it's then hard to just make that first step to come back, man. But like once you do, man, I think you'll be happy that you did it, innit? So
I know, because the gym,
man.
I know once I get into it, I'll be good.
Yeah.
But it's just so with school, with my school job and this and doing it on my own, it can be a bit time consuming, where you just like flat out. And but I think once I get everything a bit more structured and move to my new office and stuff, I think I'll be a little bit more
ready to go.
Yeah, 100%. I think that'll be because then that's out of the way.
Yeah.
And I can then focus on
coming to the gym.
Yeah, maybe we'll have another conversation.
We'll see. I wanted to touch up. So obviously, you say you worked in a school. Do they allow you to promote mental health in the school, and how important is it for do you think schools that they should be added in the curriculum?
With secondary schools, they are introducing mental a lot more. They make they're telling the students about Mental Health Awareness Day, Mental Health Week. Schools have got more counsellors involved, more support involved. So there is all of that as well now, which is really, really good. I've been able to have little chats and things like that with colleagues, management, and say, is there any way I can get involved and things like that. But it does take time. That's the only thing within what I'd like to maybe do with schools and things like that as well. But schools are trying. They are trying. It's not easy, because you're talking a secondary school would have 1,400 students. But yeah, it's school. I think it's important to help those young people at that age, between 11 and 16. I think it's very, very important. So they're aware of support and things like that out there, and they don't have to face that battle on their own. But yeah, it is introduced. It is way, way more talked about from when I was at school. There was nothing like that, anything like this when I was at school.
Yeah.
But I think now, with everything that's going on and social media and things like that as well, so that's another thing where schools do address mental health awareness.
What are your thoughts on social media and how it's affecting this new generation of youngsters now?
So it can be a good thing,
and
it can be a bad thing as well, because with bullying and things like that's a big problem. And it's filmed and things like that, and it's not nice, and then it's uploaded, and half an hour later the school's going to know about what's gone on, and they don't know the whole story. So there's always two sides to a story, isn't there? So that's the other thing. What some of these young people see is just one side, and that's it. But social media can be a good thing, but sometimes I have seen a lot of negativity on there, and things are filmed and uploaded, and that's it, bang. Everyone in Leicester's going to know. Half an hour later, everyone's going to know what's happened, without knowing the full thing, without knowing the full story. But yeah, social media can be can be a bit of a negative thing. Yeah, that's the sad thing to say.
Yeah.
You'd like to promote, just happiness on there, but
Doesn't always
yeah,
work like
it doesn't
that.
always work like that. And that's the world we live in, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? Again, though, with that, I feel like with social media, as you said, it can be good, it can be bad, but like it sort of works with algorithms. So like what you're looking at and what you're liking is what you're more likely gonna see that. You know what I mean? So if you start focusing on more positive stuff and people that are promoting positivity and like good things and doing good things, then that's the more you're gonna get. But like I feel like it's easier to indulge in like the negative or like there are a lot of, I don't know, like this person saying this about them, and it's just easy to get in down that path, man. But I feel like, I don't know, man, it's just rather be looking at positive.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's just within that secondary school setting that you'll hear the kids the following day saying, "Did you see this? This person did this. This person's on this for this reason, and they've uploaded this video. And look, sir, let me show you this." And we try to avoid that, but unfortunately, it's that age group. It's very, very tricky, very, very tricky. Snapchat, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. We'd like to focus on the positives, but we do tell them, look at, there's so much out there. Now we're talking about business more to young people to say, you can do something like this. I was talking to a group of boys, and about cleaning trainers, repairing trainers, all that kind of stuff, and they were like, I said, there's no reason why you can't do this. There's no reason why you can't set up a Facebook, Instagram page, and TikTok, all that, and you can do that.
Yeah.
Just start it up.
You can start doing it. And they were like, really? And I said, yeah, you can do it.
You're an example though of that, because with this brand, for example, you had to start somewhere.
Yeah,
as you said, you started with
tell
like
them.
30 hoodies.
Yeah,
now you're where you are, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And this is something when you're working with some young people, just give them that confidence, give them that belief, and that they can do it, and they can. I don't tell them they can be a brain surgeon just yet, but who knows in 10 years, 15 years time that could happen. But just giving them something positive to focus on at the moment, I think is really, really important. And one boy is like, he's been buying the paint for trainers, he's been buying the cleaning products and stuff like that, and he's doing a little bit around the family, a few friends and stuff like that, and hopefully within a year that might grow for him. I talked to some of the others about t-shirt designing and things like that as well. So that it's an interest that they've started to get into as well.
Being like a good role model, really, as well, like just having that positivity, and like spreading that and just trying to uplift them, I guess. But just on that, would you say when you was a kid, did you have any role models or like mentors maybe that you looked up to?
So my dad was quite strict, but I look back thinking, you know what, I'm really, really glad. Because that's really helped today. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, maybe I don't know if it's a culture thing or not, but for me it was, if I got out of hand, if I got a bit silly or anything, just get slapped. I just got slapped, and that was it. Right, I better not do that again. And that's how it was. But for me, I'm glad that looking back now, I'm glad that mum and dad gave me a bit of a telling off to say, no, that's not right. Don't do that again. You're not setting a good example. Other people see what you're doing. Don't do that. And that's what I'm trying to do now, just to say, look, I've got to try to be that positive focus rather than a negative focus on these young people. And if I can get them off the streets or just give them some creative ideas, then so be it. I'd rather do that than say, all right, do this and do that. I just want to be somewhere where people can come over for a little chat and say, I'm thinking of doing it. Yeah, no problem. Let me see if I can point in the right direction. That's fine. No, I got no problem with that. It's never too late. Challenge yourself as well. On new ideas or taking up a new hobby or anything like that as well. Because like I said, the gym was something where I went when I was like 35, 36. When people start going when they're like 18, 19 or early 20s. But yeah, for me it was great. It was good.
And just on your brand, so it's okay not to be okay. So I'm gonna pass this to you, yeah. So when you see the message, what do you think about it?
I think it's eye-opening, really, because, like you say before, not many people talk about it. And as growing up, I didn't really know too much about mental health. I'll tell you when my mental health, when I started realising mental health, it's probably the pandemic. Because that one hit me.
Yeah.
That generally did hit me. You know, I weren't used to being. I'm at the end of the day. Look, I was still with my mum. I was still with my sister. And I'm still grateful. I still had the company. But then there's people like, for example, my dad. My mum and dad are separated, innit?
Yeah.
So he was by himself quite a bit, and I knew it affected him mentally. But he was trying to play it off. Yeah. And and I'm not gonna lie. Like I'll say it now. Like I used to stress about him committing seriously. Like it was a bit too much for me, you know.
You'd worry. I think a lot of people started worrying about parents and as they're getting older and
generally,
loneliness and all of that. So
because he's got a problem with just shutting people off, you know. And I don't know if it's just like an Asian male thing. Yeah, they're all right. You know what I'm saying? You don't need anyone's help.
That was something very similar to what I.
As well. And it was just times where I had to just keep on. He didn't know. I'd go to the flat and just make sure his lights were on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So mental health.
But that is massive itself. Just checking up on.
But this is it. But this like I don't know. Then that stemmed from Planet. I just became like always overthinking situations that you can't control. And as much as I wanted him to be okay, I haven't got control of how he's thinking or what he's doing. As much as I try to help, he'd just shut me out. And that's a big thing with males, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you just got to be like a little bit persistent.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you know, where you just a bit of time together or anything like that.
That's it. Yeah.
Just walk. Doesn't have to be anything flashy or anything like. Just a walk.
Nah.
Bite to eat here and there.
That's it. Yeah. But I still make sure I still see him. You know, from that, I still make sure I make time for him at the end of the day.
That's good. That's really important.
Exactly.
That's really, really important. And I think a lot of people, you know, that time wasn't a good time for a lot of people. And a lot of men did struggle.
Yeah.
And they just became very within that shell. You know, I'll be all right. That's it. And then, but yeah, having you check up on people, that's really, really good. It's really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Sweet. What about you, Dion?
The brand.
Yeah.
The brand, honestly, the first time I seen it, because you met my mum before you met me.
Yeah.
So the first time I seen it, she came in with a hoodie on one time. And I seen it, I thought, yo, that's good, you know. Like, because, like, I'm like, nah, like, because it is, like, because you're not really told it's okay not to be okay. So, and again, it's like, as a man, I can only speak as a man, really. Like, you think you just have to, if there's anything going on, you just got to be tough and you just got to ride it out and that's it. So
you just got to get on with it.
Like, with me, I think that message has helped me realise that it is okay and you can talk to people and just the importance of who you have around you. Like, I think that's massive. Yeah, like
that positive energy around you.
Yeah, you need to, man. Like, and you know, if you've got people around, you know, you can talk to about anything. Because I feel at a stage in, like, when I was a bit younger, like, I had a lot of people around me, but if there's anything wrong, I can never go to them to talk. Yeah. And I look now, and I might only have like a few close friends, but I know that if something's up or there's something wrong with them, they'll come to me. And if I've got something to say, I can go to them and talk to them anytime. So I feel like, the brand has just made me open, like, be able to open up to people and just be honest. And if there's anything going on, then I'm okay to share that with close people.
And this is it, you know, do it if you can do it, great, you know, and there is help out there. But if you can talk to a few of your friends, that's massive. That's huge. That's huge steps going forward. And I don't think people feel that they can do that. But you know, we just need to make people aware that you know, just talk to somebody that you trust. You know, try. You never know.
All stems from environment, innit? Who you're hanging around with.
And that's massive. You know, like sometimes you just need to
cut people off.
You know, that aren't really helping you. And I did that. You know? My circle of friends is way smaller than it used to be. But you know what? I know that these people I can be around, I'm comfortable around, I can talk to them openly and say, look, you know, this is what's going on. And just that is enough. That's enough. You don't need to impress anybody. Just do what makes you happy. Seriously.
Man, I agree.
Don't think you need to impress all these people. You need loads and loads of friends. You just need, I've got 5-6 friends and that's all I need. And I'm happy. And we go for dinner now and then. We have a good laugh. We keep it simple.
That's it.
Do all that madness, partying and all the impressing, all the girls and all that kind of stuff. Now it's just like, you know what? I'm happy. I'm busy with this. I'm busy with my school job. I'm happy with just now and then meeting my friends here and there, just going for a nice little meal. Nobody gets absolutely hammered anymore, and everyone's just like, okay, let's just enjoy the night and
Yeah.
and having good memories. Taking them forward. That's really really important as well. Share that. You
Yeah.
can, and, and it's just easy.
Yeah.
You're not forcing it anymore. Well, that's what I used to do. Force it. I used to ring people. Come on, let's go out. None of that anymore. It's like, okay, we're doing something. Cool. If we're not a problem. And now it's like just simple meals out. That's it. We're playing like badminton and stuff like that. We're having a good laugh. We're a bit out of shape and stuff like that. But we can have a really good laugh in that. But that's the thing. Everyone can just chill and just enjoy themselves. That's important.
Going back to the brand, have you had many famous people or celebrities?
So I was very very lucky. Tom White, Sky Sports news presenter.
Yeah.
He's a Sunderland fan. And Matt Piper, who ex-Leicester, who did play for Sunderland, they were doing a talk on mental health. And Matt Piper messaged me saying, Tom White, this guy's from Newbury, is interested in maybe getting a hoodie off you. I was like, what, really? And so, yeah, I messaged him on Twitter, I think. Yeah, Twitter, I think it was. And he messaged back after like half an hour and says, yeah, I want one. I was like, cool. So I sent him one. He wore it, the mental health awareness hoodie, this hoodie around the studio. And because I think we went back into lockdown again. And Paul Merson was walking past and he goes, where'd you get your hoodie from? And he goes, I got this guy in Leicester. And Tom messaged me saying, Paul Merson wants to send you one of your hoodies.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And he goes, cool. So I sent it to Tom. Tom then gave it to Paul Merson. And Paul Merson went on BBC Breakfast News.
Yeah.
So I was really, really lucky that day, yeah. And he wore it and he mentioned the logo names and stuff like that as well. Yeah, so that was really amazing. So yeah, Paul Merson's got one. I was in talks with Aston Villa, talks with Everton, about some, like Dominic Calvert-Lewin quite openly talking about struggling with mental health.
Yeah.
Tyrone Mings also mentioned about struggling. So I got in touch and they said, that would be really helpful if you can send a couple of bits. And so yeah, Tyrone Mings, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, TalkSport, I spoke to them as well, and Darren Bent's got one as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been quite lucky.
That's good.
Yeah. And I'm also doing a stall 13th of May, and on that evening, Ricky Hatton, Joe Calzaghe, Nigel Benn, and Frank Bruno are coming to do like a meet and greet. So I've been invited to do a stall that day as well. So obviously Ricky Hatton really was quite public about his struggles with mental health, how he drugs and alcohol and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's some things, that hopefully I can try and get some celebrities involved or anything like that as well. That would be really, really helpful, obviously. And obviously Tyson Fury has been really open about mental health as well. So we need those kind of people that would be really, really helpful.
Good role model.
Yeah, just to say, look, so it's good, it's all right. You know what? We're all going to have good days, we're all going to have bad days, but what we got to do is just keep looking forward. And not being funny, like, when I'm in Asda, if people can just have a bit of a conversation, and if they don't buy it, it's not a problem. The main thing is if we start the conversation. I think that's really, really important. If we just start the conversation, who knows where it can go and how far it can go as well. And that's more than any. That's the most important thing. If I sell one hoodie, great. If I sell 100 hoodies, great. But if I can get a couple of people talking, then that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and just before we close off, what would you say? What message would you give to anyone listening? Just any words of advice that you've got. Like, what would be the one message that you'd give them?
I'd say, look, if you are struggling out there, please speak to somebody. It is hard. It's not easy, but it could make a huge, huge difference going forward in your life. Talking. This is the thing where a lot of people struggle, and a lot of people disguise it really, really well. That person's fine. They're not going through anything. But even just checking up on somebody, just if you've not heard from anyone who may have gone a bit quiet or anything like that, you know, who have drifted off the radar, that kind of thing. Just check up on, just a little text. Hey, how you doing? Just that might make a massive, massive difference. Just saying, oh, hello, just a smile, you know, you never know. That could just, yeah, that would probably be it, you know. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to just even say, you know, just even checking up on someone. That would be huge.
Thank you for that.
No problem. Thank you.
Nice one, yeah, man. So, like I said, I just want to say thank you to Hitesh for joining us on this podcast. It's been a real eye-opener. Big shout out to Leicester Podcast Studios as well for inviting us.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, man. Until next time.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.